Is this the smartest auto litter box on the market? This is the PETKIT Purobot Ultra. It has an AI facial recognition camera that also does health monitoring of your cat's urine and stool. It automatically packages up the trash bags and seals them for amazing odor control. This auto litter box was gifted to me by the brand. However, I have fulfilled my obligations to them, and this review is just 100% on my own. I've got an affiliate link in the description. Please use that if you end up buying this auto litter box for your cat. Today I'll be going through the different components of this auto litter box. We'll talk about the pros and cons, and at the end I'll be answering the most common questions that I saw online for this auto litter box. Starting with the setup for this auto litter box was so easy. It basically comes set up, it comes in a gigantic heavy box, and it's basically already set up. Everything you'll need will be in this section. This is where the trash is normally stored. And yeah, you basically just put the cylinder on, set it up, and I really think it took me less than 5 minutes to set up. I'm gonna include some clips of me setting it up here. The one thing that did confuse me a little bit were the trash bags. So I've never used an auto litter box that needed specific trash bags. This one you need the very specific PETKIT refill trash rings, which you can buy on their website or on Amazon. I would say that was the most complicated part of the setup, was just figuring out which way the rings went and where to put them. Which, by the way, the rings go in this back section on the bottom. The power cable plugs in the back section on the right side. And what's so cool is when you first plug this in, it will actually start talking to you and it will tell you the next steps to set it up. Next, you'll need to set up the app. And I found that the app for this auto litter box is really, really good. We'll get into that once I get into the app section. My first impression of this auto litter box was that it's really cool. It kind of looks like a spaceship and it is super high tech. My other first impression is that this is a big auto litter box. Its setup was actually this way, so that way it was all on the hardwood. When you set up this auto litter box, you don't want it to be on two different surfaces as I have it right now. Next, I'm going to insert some clips of a full cleaning cycle. And let me say, this auto litter box is really great in its design. The trash opening on this one is larger than the trash opening on the litter robot, which means that you get a little bit less of a mess and less of those small clumps of dirty litter. I found that this did a really good job filtering the litter and putting the trash in the trash section. A few specs for this auto litter box. The opening of the auto litter box is 10.4 inches off of the floor. The total cylinder space is 70 liters and the trash bag space is 10 liters. They say that the trash bag will need to be replaced about every 20 days. Because this auto litter box seals the trash bags, it has really awesome odor control. Next, let's talk about the pros and cons, starting with the pros. The camera is really great at picking up movement around the auto litter box. It doesn't alert me when I just walk by, but it's really good at detecting when the cats are walking by, and it can detect which cat it is, which is really, really cool to me. I really like the safety features of this auto litter box. It has X-axis rotation, so this opening always remains open. Even when it's doing a cleaning cycle, this opening will always be open. It also has 20 different safety sensors between weight sensors and proximity sensors. I found that it did a really good job of noticing when my cats were walking by, and it also didn't alert me when I walked by. It was really able to sense a cat compared to just a person. One of the coolest features of this auto litter box is that the camera captures stool and clump images after each cleaning cycle, and it will alert you to signs of constipation, diarrhea, blood in the urine, or other bowel and urinary issues based on stool color, stool consistency, and clump size. You can actually look at your cat's fecal images in the app's timeline and compare them to the app's stool health check chart. Okay, now on to the cons. Starting with the biggest con, which is the price. This auto litter box I found online anywhere from $800 to $1,000. I've seen other auto litter boxes online from anywhere from $180 all the way up to about $1,000. So this does put this at the way top of the price range. And I can see why it costs so much. I think some of the features are really cool, really unique, and I can see that they did a lot of research and development for this auto litter box. So the price point of this auto litter box is honestly astronomical. And not only do you need to buy the auto litter box, you need to buy the replacement rings for the trash. I'm going to insert an image right now of how long the company says each ring will last you, depending on how many cats you have and how often they use this auto litter box. So for me, I have 2 cats and they each use the litter box, I'm going to say 5 to 7 times. So each ring would last me about 60 to 80 days. The auto litter box will automatically seal each trash bag, which is awesome for odor control. However, the downside is that you can't just use any old type of trash bag for this. In fact, the company warns against it, and they say that it can cause malfunctions with the machine. Another con is the large footprint of this auto litter box. It truly is a massive machine. It is very deep. They say there's so much room in this back section because it's needed for the auto seal feature. Another thing to note is that if you want to have playback of this auto litter box, then you have to pay the monthly fee for the app. The app's monthly fee does vary based on how long you want to have that playback for, and if you want to pay monthly versus annually. Another con is that I think this auto litter box might be a little bit intimidating to cats. The actual opening is kind of small, and because it has this moving camera, it might not be the best for skittish cats. This camera, you'll notice it rotates in and out. You can set it within the app to be in a fixed position facing inward. If you have a more skittish cat, I would definitely do that. Next, I'm going to move on to the most common questions that I saw online for this auto litter box. First question, is it really odorless? Yes. The odor control on this auto litter box is really, really great. I think it's a combination of the auto seal of the trash bags and the different carbon filters that are within the auto litter box. I think those really help with odor control. The brand claims that the auto sealing trash bags seal in 97.5% of odor. Next question, can it handle multiple cats? Yes, this auto litter box can handle multiple cats, and auto litter boxes are awesome for multi-cat households. Because it's always cleaning right after your cat has gone in, it's like your other cat will always have a fresh auto litter box. Also within the app, you can track multiple cats, and it does an excellent job of differentiating between cats. What kind of litter works best? I would say low dust clumping litter works best, like clumping clay, cassava, and corn. You could also use smaller particle tofu cat litters. I would not use things like crystal cat litters, clumping pine cat litters, or any of those larger pellet style cat litters. It does come with 2 different filter sizes. I'm using the filter that has the smaller holes because I'm using a clumping clay litter today. If you were using like the smaller particle tofu litter, you would use the larger size filter. How often do I have to replace the trash bag? The company says that it will be about every 20 days. You're gonna see the alert on the outside of the auto litter box and in your app, and then you'll press the buttons here to seal the trash bag. And again, it'll be about every 20 days. I'm gonna insert that image that shows how long each refill ring will last, depending on how many cats you have and how many times they use the auto litter box. Again, each of these refill rings are about $12 on their website or on Amazon. You cannot use any old trash bag in this auto litter box. The company themselves say that it can actually cause a malfunction of the machine if you use any old trash bag. Is it worth the money compared to other auto litter boxes? Honestly, yes. I can see why this auto litter box costs so much. I wish that you didn't have to pay extra for the refill rings or for extended playback of the app, but I can see why it costs so much. It feels very high quality. Again, it feels like they put a lot of time into research and development for this, and the app is really great too. I've never seen an auto litter box with a camera, and this is the first ever auto litter box to have AI cat facial recognition technology. If you want like the creme de la creme best techie auto litter box, I definitely think this is it. Is there a weight limit for this auto litter box? Yes, the minimum weight for this auto litter box is 3.3 pounds, and the maximum cat weight limit is 22 pounds. The company recommends that you do not use this auto litter box in cats that are less than 6 months old. I should also mention that this auto litter box has a kitten protection mode that you can activate within the app. That will turn off the auto cleaning and that sort of occasional cleaning. Will my cat be scared of this auto litter box? Potentially. I don't think this is the best fit for skittish cats, again, because of the small opening and because of the moving camera. My recommendations, if your cat's a little nervous of this one, set it so the camera does not move. Put this auto litter box where their old litter box is, and just progressively start decreasing how often you're cleaning their old litter box. Their old litter box is gonna kind of get gross and full of clumps and poo, and this will just seem like the most irresistible litter box to your cat. Another thing you can do is take some of the clean litter from their old litter box, just one scoop, and put it inside this new litter box. Having that familiar scent can help to encourage your cat to go inside of the new box. Is the camera always facing outward? So the default setting for this auto litter box is to have the camera facing inward. You can change it within the app so that way it faces outward and it will move inward when it's sensing the cat going inside. There's also a privacy mode feature within the app that you can activate, and when it senses a human, it will automatically turn inward. When you're gone for the day at work, it will face outward and you can see what your cat is doing throughout the day. Next question is, why is this back section so big? That was my first question when I was unboxing. I was like, whoa, this is a big auto litter box. And it just feels like there's a bunch of empty space here because it's totally hollow. But the brand says that they need that in order to do the auto seal feature of the trash bags. It needs that much room in order to move up, seal the trash bag, and then move back down. So that's why there's so much empty space in the back. I think it's perfect for multi-cat households, for techie people, and people who like to watch up on their cats when they're at work. I really loved being able to see the notifications by cat and to see what they were doing when I was at work. I also think the health monitoring of this app is awesome. I like that this auto litter box's camera will take images of your cat's clumps and of their poo for health monitoring, and it's so cool that it will automatically send you notifications if it senses that something is wrong. I think this is really cool for sort of like first step health monitoring for your cat. I also think this auto litter box is perfect if you're someone who's really sensitive to cat litter smells. The auto seal technology of this auto litter box is awesome. Yes, this auto litter box is very large, but it will seal in that odor incredibly well. I think this auto litter box is probably not best for people who are on a budget. This is obviously not a budget pick at all. This is a super luxury, high-tech pick. If you want a smaller footprint auto litter box, this probably is not the best one for you because it is so large. Also, if you have a cat who's really skittish, again, this might not be the best option because the opening is kind of small and it has some kind of novel, unique features that your cat might be a little bit curious and skittish of, like the camera. If it's feeling like this auto litter box will be a great fit for your cat, please purchase through the link in my description. It's an affiliate link and it helps our channel out so much. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to go down the rabbit hole of a bunch of different auto litter box reviews, I'm going to have that playlist play next. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.